What is he talking? I'm trying to figure out what is he talking about. All right, freaking intro. Are we not? Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, is nobody not gonna read?
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
Al-Haqqah.
The inevitable reality.
Mal-Haqqah.
What is the inevitable reality?
وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْحَاقَّةُ.
And what can make you know what is the inevitable reality?
I'm just gonna make an inference. I don't know, talking about the end times, I guess. Just making an inference.
وَعَادٌ بِالْقَارِعَةِ.
Thamud and Ad denied the striking.
I don't know who they are.
فَأَمَّا
who are they?
فَأُهْلِكُوا بِالطَّاغِيَةِ.
So as for Thamud, they were destroyed by the overpowering blast.
وَأَمَّا عَادٌ فَأُهْلِكُوا بِرِيحٍ صَرْصَرٍ عَاتِيَةٍ.
And as for Ad, they were destroyed by a screaming violent wind.
سخرها عليهم 7 ليال و8 أيام حسوما فترى القوم فيها صرعى كأنهم أعجاز نخل خاوية.
Which Allah imposed upon them for 7 nights and 8 days in succession. So you would see the people therein fallen, as if they were hollow trunks of palm trees.
فهل ترى لهم من باقية.
Then do you see of them any remains?
وجاء فرعون.
Are we still on Moses? Bruh. The last time we talked about Moses, bruh.
And there came Pharaoh and those before him, and the overturned cities with sin.
Wait. No, I think it's just giving an example.
And they disobeyed the messenger of their Lord, so he seized them with a seizure exceeding in severity.
إنا لما طغى الماء حملناكم في الجارية.
Indeed, when the water overflowed, we carried your ancestors in the sailing ship.
لنجعلها لكم تذكرة وتعيها أذن واعية.
That we might make it for you a reminder, and that a conscious ear would be conscious of it.
فإذا نفخ في الصور نفخة واحدة.
Then when the horn is blown with one blast,
وحملت الأرض والجبال فدكتا دكة واحدة.
and the earth and the mountains are lifted and leveled with one blow.
So what is he talking about here? What? Okay, oh wait. Resurrection. Hold on a second.
يومئذ وقعت الواقعة.
Then on that day, the resurrection will occur.
وانشقت السماء فهي يومئذ واهية.
And the heaven will split open. For that day it is infirm.
I mean, so far, I don't know who those two names that he was talking to were, but aside from that, I mean, yeah, very similar. Essentially the same, like how Christianity describes what will happen. But those two names, yeah, I don't know what the heck that was all about. I don't know. Somebody could go explain that to me in the comments. So.
الملك على أرجائها ويحمل عرش ربك فوقهم يومئذ ثمانية.
And the angels are at its edges, and there will bear the throne of your Lord above them. That day, 8 of them.
يومئذ تعرضون لا تخفى منكم خافية.
That day you will be exhibited for judgment. Not hidden among you is anything concealed.
فأما
Yeah, again, basic stuff that
بيمينه فيقول
any person from the Abrahamic religion should know.
هاؤم اقرءوا كتابيه.
So as for he who is given his record in his right hand, he will say, "Here, read my record."
إني ظننت.
Yo, Loki, offer lady note. Like, shit. You wanna know how I honestly feel? How I would get judged, like, right now? Right now? I'll be so honest. Okay? Like, I'm not gonna be like one of those people who's like, oh my god, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to heaven. I hate when people do that shit. How I would get judged right now. I'm only 20 years old. If God doesn't kill me right now, but the Bible does say that God kills people early when they're young because they're usually like good enough, and you know there's no point of them being tested anymore when they've already like proven themselves, basically, right? But you know, if God doesn't like kill me right now, I do believe that I would pass Judgment Day. However, and this is just my honest opinion of myself. I need to work on this. There is probably one thing. I mean, I've like made peace with it. I mean, I made peace with it. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure God would probably understand my perspective on it. But there's probably like one thing that might kind of make things a bit rocky. But however, I mean, I always tell people, bro, I'm like, bro, look, the only person that really and truly like understands how I operate and why I operate like that is God. So I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, maybe that one thing might kind of, you know, that one stain. Yeah, you know, you got like a white cloth and, you know, that stain there. It's like, oh, shit, man. Ugh. You know, but overall, I mean, it's not like severe or anything, to be honest. If you understood what happened, you'd probably just be like, oh, well, that's understandable, right? I'm not really gonna explain what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, like, if I had to be really honest with myself. But anyways,
Indeed, I was certain that I would be meeting my account.
فهو في عيشة راضية.
So he will be in a pleasant life,
في جنة عالية.
in an elevated garden,
قطوفها دانية.
its fruit to be picked hanging near.
كلوا واشربوا هنيئا بما أسلفتم في الأيام الخالية.
They will be told, "Eat and drink in satisfaction for what you put forth in the days past."
وأما من
no, this part, yeah, I don't know any of this. I've never heard any of this in the Christian Bible. Any of that? No. You know, it's just like I've heard stuff about golden mansions that I think he's talking about like Judgment Day, right? And like those who will be saved. I think that's what he's talking about? I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah, but I'm just going based on what I think he's talking about. But you know, the Christian Bible does talk about how like you won't need to work anymore. You know, like I already said, the golden mansions and whatnot. But nothing about food. I mean, no, I think, does it mention anything about food? No, it mentions how you won't be hungry and thirsty, if I'm not mistaken, anymore. Like you won't be hungry or thirsty. Like you won't feel sleepy or any of that. In the afterlife, like when you're saved, I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
أوتي كتابه بشماله فيقول يا ليتني لم أوت كتابيه.
But as for he who has given his record in his left hand, he will say, "Oh, I wish I had not been given my record,
ولم أدر ما حسابيه.
and had not known what is my account.
يا ليتها كانت القاضية.
I wish my death had been the decisive one.
ما أغنى عني ماليه.
My wealth has not availed me.
هلك عني سلطانيه.
Gone from me is my authority.
خذوه فغلوه.
Allah will say, seize him and shackle him.
ثم الجحيم صلوه.
Then into hellfire drive him.
ثم في سلسلة ذرعها 70 ذراعا فاسلكوه.
Then into a chain whose length is 70 cubits insert him.
إنه كان لا يؤمن بالله العظيم.
Indeed, he did not use to believe in Allah, the Most Great.
ولا يحض على طعام المسكين.
Nor did he encourage the feeding of the poor.
فليس له اليوم هاهنا حميم.
So there is not for him here this day any devoted friend.
ولا طعام إلا
What is he talking? I'm trying to figure out, what is he talking about?
من غسلين.
Nor any food except from the discharge of wounds.
لا يأكله إلا الخاطئون.
None will eat it except the sinners.
فلا أقسم بما تبصرون.
So I swear by what you see,
وما لا تبصرون.
and what you do not see,
إنه لقول رسول كريم.
that indeed the Quran is the word of a noble messenger.
وما هو بقول شاعر قليلا ما تؤمنون.
And it is not the word of a poet, little do you believe.
ولا بقول كاهن قليلا ما تذكرون.
Nor the word of a soothsayer, little do you remember.
تنزيل من رب العالمين.
It is a revelation from the Lord of the worlds.
You know what would be cool about the Quran? If it would explain, like, because the Quran, right, it claims that it explains everything that the other Abrahamic religions couldn't explain properly, or has been corrupted. It would have been cool if the Quran could explain why there's so many like planets and stars in the sky and whatnot. The Bible does talk about the planets and stars in the sky, and the fact that it does give us some details, but it doesn't really like explain. I mean, obviously, it's not really relevant, really and truly, when you think about it. It's really not relevant to us at all. Like, how the hell is knowing how stars are created relevant to us being saved and returning back to heaven, right? So I don't know, but still, just a random thought out there.
ولو تقول علينا بعض الأقاويل
And if Muhammad had made up about us some false sayings,
لأخذنا منه باليمين
we would have seized him by the right hand,
ثم لقطعنا منه الوتين
then we would have cut from him the aorta.
What's the
فما
aorta?
منكم من أحد عنه حاجزين
And there is no one of you who could prevent us from him.
وإنه لتذكرة للمتقين
And indeed, the Quran is a reminder for the righteous.
وإنا لنعلم أن منكم مكذبين
And indeed, we know that among you are deniers.
وإنه لحسرة على الكافرين
And indeed, it will be a cause of regret upon the disbelievers.
وإن
You know, I don't really. There are some things that I agree with that the Quran says. I don't really like necessarily just completely disregard the Quran. No. The Quran actually does have some type of useful information, in my personal opinion, that Christians themselves can use. Really and truly. I don't just completely like ignore the Quran. No. So anytime I hear anything from the Quran, I usually am open ear, open minded, and I usually hear it out a lot. That's just my perspective. I mean, a lot of Christians, probably most to be honest, they just look at the Quran, they're like, oh well, not the Bible. So they just completely disregard it. But I'm not like that. I like to hear things out, you know. Honestly, the main thing that I just really have to disagree with Islam is it's just the whole thing regarding Jesus. Now, and Prophet Muhammad. Because after Jesus came, there was no need for another prophet. There was no need for another prophet. That's the thing. Like, now you could just say that, well, yeah, at the time there was no need for another prophet, but you know, shit got corrupted, which is what the Quran is. The Quran, apparently, Islam was made because you know, the Abrahamic faith got corrupted over time, and you know, needed someone to re-educate, if you will say that.
إنه لحق اليقين
And indeed, it is the truth of certainty.
فسبح باسم ربك العظيم
So exalt the name of your Lord, the most great.
Interesting. Very interesting perspective here. But if you made it all the way here, you have any suggestions that you'd love to see my reaction to, comment it in the comments below. This video is a part of Members Week, where channel members for 1 week have their suggestions done. Like I said, it is only 99 cents to become a channel member. I purposely made it cheap so that my active viewers can, you know, keep in touch with me, because I will get more people on my channel. I will get more comments on my channel. I'm gonna get more suggestions. Okay, like I said, I have a job, college to do, with all that, I have other things outside of YouTube, right? And you know, it's gonna be harder for me to respond to everyone. Even then, I have a bunch of unresponded comments, and it's like, golly, so many comments, man, right? So yeah, definitely, you know, check out becoming a channel member. Like I said, it's only 99 cents a month, man. The link to the perks that you get when you become a channel member is going to be in the comments below. But the two main ones are faster reply to comments, and your suggestions are done much more quicker. There's a lot more perks than just that. Like I said, as we get more members, more perks are going to come and it'll expand. Subscribe, turn the bell notifications on if you haven't, because I upload every single day at 10 a.m. If you're a channel member, you get those uploads a lot earlier. So, but that's for regular people, right? Check out my other reactions like this on my channel. I have so much at this point. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.